for the past year and a half, I have been struggling to find my youngest a job. He has been in college for the past 2 years, and what's happened is that there are no jobs in Gainsborough. I recently found him a job in Lincoln. He went for an interview and he got the job as a month's trial, and the reason for this was not because of the work but because of the transportation. Online, I managed to find out that train timetables here started at 6:25 would guarantee my son to get in to Lincoln for 7 o'clock each morning. If he's not there for 7 o'clock each morning, it's a no-go. They will not wait because they travel around the country. The last 2 weeks now, my son has had a cancellation his first week and a delay yesterday. Employers will not take on people around the Gainsborough area who have to rely on the transport. They're going to take one look and say, sorry, but you're unreliable.
Hello, are you off for a day at the seaside?
Yeah, we're off to Cleethorpes and we're from Worksop.
Here we have Martin, who's the MP for Cleethorpes, and Martin is going to tell us what an improvement Cleethorpes will have for a better train service on the Brig Line.
Well, obviously I'm anxious to get as many trains running into Cleethorpes from as many destinations as possible to allow people to come here to enjoy the fantastic facilities we have here. We are the premier resort of the East Coast, and we want to establish it even more in the minds of people in Gainsborough, Curtin, Brig and elsewhere.
Well, obviously it's the first day of my trip around the Midlands on the railway, and it's really nice to be able to join you out on the Brig Line. I mean, I think there's some frustrations clearly at Gainsborough. You've got two different stations and it's some distance between them, and particularly at Gainsborough Central, obviously only having a Saturday only service must be a bit frustrating for people, and the station itself doesn't have much in the way of facilities, not much over cover, but you can see the huge potential that there is with the Marshall's Yard development there. There's the potential for people to want to travel to Gainsborough Central, and it'd be really interesting if you can do that work with the train operator and with Network Rail and get the extra investment in so that the railway can really flourish.
Here we have a range of independent and high street stores, including Marks & Spencer Simply Food and Browns of York department store, who opened their first store outside of Yorkshire here in Marshall's Yard. Here we are at Gainsborough Old Hall, and we're talking to Victoria Mason.
It's one of the finest timber-framed medieval manor houses in the country. It has played host to kings and queens, including Richard III and Henry VIII. We also have links to the Pilgrim Fathers. The current hall was built around 1460 by Lord Thomas Burgh, but there's been buildings on the site since the Viking times, where Sweyn Forkbeard and Canute had their base here.
Here we are at the All Saints Parish Church, and reader Sue Ritchie is going to tell us all about its history.
Well, welcome to All Saints Parish Church. The original church was built in the Middle Ages, but only the 14th century tower survives. The rest of the building is Georgian, built in 1744, and it's very much the latest in church building in the 18th century. A lot of people say it reminds them of St Martin in the Fields in Trafalgar Square in London. It has box pews, it has a gallery, and it has a very lovely east end, which has all been raised with a nave altar, choir stalls.
We're going to Curtin Lindsay. We're going to get our car from there because we've been on a day trip visiting relatives in Barnaby, and my son likes to have a train ride now and again.
I like train rides because I really like trains because we got some free.
I think it really needs a good weekly service on this line.
Curtin in Lindsey is a very important town. It has a lot of people living here, but it can get quite isolated from other communities, and a rail line like this connects communities together and allows people to go on the train to places of higher education like Sheffield, or go to other places on the line. So those things are important, but I also think it's important that we've got people interested in heritage now, and coming here for heritage reasons also boosts the local economy.
We was initially worried about the train station opening up because we thought people would actually travel to the Grimsby and the Doncaster. But with Brigg being a lovely individual town with lovely shops, we feel that the people will stop at the train station and come into Brigg. We're hoping that this big influx of people will create better business for all our individual shops.
Brigg is a fantastic place to come to. We have a whole package of things that residents are very proud of. We also have a market, which is a market which has been around for hundreds of years, and having an improved train link could enhance employment opportunities for people to come to Brigg, for people to be part of the Brigg community.
At the moment, Brigg has a train service only on a Saturday, which stops any young person wanting to benefit from further or higher education in Grimsby or in Sheffield from actually accessing that, because there's no other form of transport to get them there.
As there are a lot more freight trains in this area that cause substantial wear and tear to the track, out of all proportion to the few passenger trains, we propose a funding regime that recognises that passenger trains are a marginal cost to Network Rail in this area.